I have the pleasure of introducing my classmate and our first class day speaker, Isabel Wichanko, with a speech titled Compassion Takes Intentional Practice.
What stories are you carrying within to be here today? How much did you dream of this moment, not only for yourself, but for everyone you carry within your heart? I ask these questions because when I reflect on the skills that we've been developing since day one of medical school, I realize that the heart of what we've been learning is the ability to celebrate one another's stories, to honor the humanity of anyone we encounter. Yes, we have learned the clinical pearls of medicine. We have gone from needing minutes to work together during first year and discuss vital signs to reviewing them in seconds on the hospital floor. We have gone from having no idea what the kidney does to having a slightly better idea of what the kidney does. We have made our first surgical incision. We have made our first correct identification of heart sounds, our first delivery of a newborn. And all along, throughout these precious medical school firsts, we were learning to listen. We were learning to listen for the music that makes the patient in front of us tick. We were learning to listen for their stories and history that's vibrating just below the surface. Because daily in medical school, we have practiced the language of asking, "How are you today?" Conveying to the person in front of us, maybe a stranger seconds ago, that I am here for you. To think that every Wednesday during first year, we practiced how to do patient interviews. We watched recordings of ourselves interviewing, asking ourselves, did I listen for what wasn't said? Did I fully show up for this patient? And do I fully understand this patient's story? Practicing listening. This is powerful because in practicing listening, in practicing connecting with one another every day, we were practicing and cultivating compassion. And in cultivating compassion, we were learning not only to be good clinicians, but kind humans, kind leaders. Perhaps one of the hardest and yet most beautiful aspects of learning to be a clinician is learning that we and the patients open up our hearts to work together toward healing. And isn't that what good leadership is? Meeting someone where they are, understanding their story, and working together with them to do the hard work. To close, I would like to reflect on another skill that we've been practicing every day in medical school: reading the room. Now, as doctors, as kind leaders, we have a duty not only to read the room, but to build it. We can look around the room and ask the tough questions. Questions like, who even gets to be in the room? As a healthcare provider, as a patient with access to healthcare, whose voices are being heard and whose voices aren't even there, and therefore whose stories are not being told. In a world confronting COVID, confronting structural and historical inequities, confronting racism, we have a duty to ask those tough questions. Because living with compassion takes intentionality. Listening, really listening to someone, takes practice. And leadership takes all of these things. Since day one of medical school, we have nurtured not only our scientific curiosity, but our ability to show up for one another and to fundamentally change the room. Today, may we celebrate the stories that we carry within. May we celebrate the stories of the many patients who have taught us along the way. May we honor the stories that don't get to be told. And may we commit to building spaces where everyone can be heard. Growing together, learning together over these past few years and seeing how you all treat your patients has taught me just how expansive and deeply kind the human heart can be. To this group of kind doctors, kind leaders, congratulations.